Jacob worked 7 years in order to marry Rachel, but was given Leah. He worked 7 more years for Rachel. He then worked 7 years acquiring wealth before he returned to Canaan. 17. 3.6 The 400-year period of preparation for the advent of the Messiah. After the Jewish people returned from exile to their homeland of Israel, they re-established their faith, rebuilt the city wall and, based on Malachi's prophecy, began as a nation to prepare for the Messiah. From that time until the birth of Jesus was a period of 400 years. The period of preparation for the advent of the Messiah. Had King Saul accomplished the dispensation to build the temple, one of the indemnity conditions he would have restored horizontally through indemnity was the 40 years of wandering in the wilderness in the third national course. After King Saul lost faith and this dispensation failed, this indemnity period of 40 years had to be restored as a vertical extension of horizontal restoration. The 400-year period of preparation for the advent of the Messiah was set up for this purpose. This period was the image parallel to the 40-year period in the age of symbolic parallels, extending from the time Jacob returned to Canaan until his family entered Egypt at the invitation of his son Joseph. It was to restore that earlier period through parallel indemnity conditions. Section 4 The periods in the age of the prolongation of the providence of restoration and their lengths. The age of the prolongation of the providence of restoration has been to restore through substantial parallels the age of the providence of restoration. The age of image parallels, as the periods of this age were to restore through indemnity the corresponding periods of the previous age. These periods proceeded in a parallel fashion, both in order and in length. 4.1 The 400-year period of persecution in the Roman Empire. Jesus came at the outset of the New Testament age to complete the will which had been entrusted to Abraham, the father of faith, who commenced the Old Testament age. We recall that the Israelites had to endure a 400-year period of slavery in Egypt to restore, on the national level, the foundation of faith, which had been shattered due to Abraham's mistake in the symbolic offering. The early Christians underwent a comparable period of suffering to restore through indemnity the foundation of faith, which had been destroyed due to the mistake of the Jewish people, who did not properly follow Jesus as the living sacrifice. This was the 400-year period, during which Christians were persecuted in the Roman Empire. The persecution abated by 313 A.D. when the Emperor Constantine formally recognized Christianity as a legal religion. In 392 A.D., the Emperor Theodosius I established Christianity as the state religion. This period was the substantial parallel to the Israelites' 400-year period of slavery in Egypt, and its purpose was to restore that earlier period through parallel indemnity conditions.